Chevrolet! What am I doing? Clock on the wall says 10 o'clock. Last call for K5 Blazer repair. Tonight's the first night of Hanukkah. That means potato latkes, which are potato pancakes, grated potatoes mixed with onions, fried in oil, and if your house doesn't stink, you're not doing it right. Burn them. Got to be crispy. I am fixing the dash lights on the Blazer because I had to do something on this vehicle. My roof has stopped leaking because it stopped raining, luckily. Maybe we'll get it done one of these days, maybe Thursday. When I bought this truck, just like my San Francisco Suburban, nothing worked on the dash. Not one single dash light. Not one. Zero. Nothing. Not the turn signal lights. Nothing. Nothing. Not a light bulb. So I spent several hours at Dwayne's Junkyard at 12975 Log Road. That's like an infomercial when you mention product placement. And I got most of the dash lights working. One or two flickered off. These two worked. There's one there, one there. Where are they? One there. That one didn't work. And this one never, ever even flickered on. Hint, jumper wire. So I spent some time getting them working. And I guess I'll light them up, just like the Hanukkah menorah. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful thing. Can't believe that rheostat actually works. I've got a dozen of these. It's the same as a Corvette or a Corvair or a Blazer. They never work fluidly. But these two worked. And I played with the contacts and rotated the socket slightly. You can't remove the socket because it falls into the back. You can't get your hand up there and do much. You could undo them, but you can't put them back. Trust me, I've tried. So this one was working. Those two were working. This one was really fussy. That one took 15 minutes to get it to work. And this one didn't work at all. Zero, nothing, nada. So I finally figured out why. I'll turn the light on. I'll show you what happened here. When someone put the socket in, maybe even at the factory, the contact on the other side stuck through. I can see it right there. Let me point it out to you. This thing wants to focus on something else. That little contact right there is supposed to be behind the plastic copper embedded sheathing that's on the back of this, whatever you call it. And that contact is sticking through the hole instead of being behind it, like that one. That one's touching a plastic contact gizmo. Nick told me the name, I forget. So I try to push that behind, but it ain't happening. No way without taking the socket out. And once you take the socket out, it's going to fall behind the dash. You're done. So I tested to see what was hot and what was not, and who was naughty and who was nice. And that's the ground. So I just ran a single strand of copper wire to this ground over here. And turn on the dash lights and whoop, it works. Did you know? Nick Googled it and he said my video came up from 3.5 years ago. There are different light bulbs for the dash. They're called peanut bulbs. There's a 168 and a 194. The LL stands for long life, whatever that means. But there's also a 2825. And this one was much brighter than this one. The 2825, anyway, someone probably knows this better than I do. You can Google it. But they actually have different brightnesses or lumens. There's also the Kelvin scale, lower numbers being yellower and higher numbers like 4100 or 5700. Kelvin, the same guy that had the Kelvin absolute zero scale, minus 276. I do remember some things from high school or college or biology or whatever. So I had these brand new bulbs. I bought some new ones for this truck, but I don't know where they went. They're around somewhere in the junk. So I dug up some of these bulbs, and I did put the brighter ones in. I also did this. Dimmer. The dimmer has a blue piece of plastic, but during the day you cannot see that blue. So I took a sheetrock screw and I made 2 tiny holes, and I got the bulb to work because it wasn't working. So when the dimmer, when the headlights are on, not dim, but when the bright lights are on during the day, if you happen to turn them off at night, you can see the white light, little pinpricks of white light shining through. Also fixed both turn signals. That's a factory sound turn signal with the correct speed. I also got the check engine light to work because this is a pollution-controlled vehicle for the state of California, and the dash, which is not around here, it's under the hood over there. The dash, instead of having a water and fuel light or a glow plug pause light, has a check engine lamp, and that's what that is. It's a check engine lamp. I couldn't figure out why when I saw pictures of this truck for the first time before I bought it in Salinas, California. I said, why would it have a diesel dash if the fuel gauge says unleaded fuel only? And the gas filler, the guy sent me a picture. The gas filler says unleaded fuel only. It was an old sticker. And somebody on the forum said, that is the check engine light because this vehicle is equipped with an oxygen sensor. So it's the beginnings. I think the beginning was 81. I used to sell Chevys back in 81, and they had electronic spark control, whatever. Chrysler had lean burn in 75, but can't see it for 55. Found that in the garbage. It's going on eBay, $100. Crazy, huh? Rusty Buick air cleaner, worth $100. And I found it in the trash. There's an oxygen sensor on the other side. There's this little gizmo here on the carburetor, which some guy explained to me how it works. It's supposed to go. So I just ordered a new temperature sender, which is right there for the pollution control, specific only to California vehicles. This is kind of mangled, but I'm going to put a new sensor in, a new oxygen sensor. I'm going to remove that and put power to it and see if it does its business. I fixed the choke wire, and I'm going to fix the heat riser because I've got something disconnected here. And what else am I going to do? Charge the battery. I got to get the heater working. I've got to figure out, because I'm not good at 12 volts, why I used to have, with one relay, 3 speeds but no high, and another relay I had only high, and now I've got no speeds. So this is the resistor. There's coils inside here that get hot. But the fan does work. I just tested it. I presume this is the power in. Where does that power come from? That block over there, or off the starter. But I've got 0 heater control right now, but the fan does work. I've got 0 heater speed. So I've got some things to do here. And I've got some extra relays, but nothing works. 0, nothing, nada. I tried plugging in 3 different relays. This rusty one, the original, and an aftermarket cheaper replacement, made in USA, and probably another original one. Because it's rusty, it's probably old, and nothing works. I've got the hood pad attached. That was old news. I've got some more little connectors here, plugs, but they're small base. They don't have that big wide base like these. If I would have remembered, I would have got some at the junkyard. They were down here. The holes in the hood were a fraction too big, so these little plug things fell out. So I put some construction adhesive to hold them in. And my roof is still leaking. I got some things to do. So, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Whatever holiday you celebrate, you should celebrate it in peace and serenity, and visit with family, and don't get drunk, and don't get in trouble with your in-laws, because one day they may be helping you pay the rent. Some people are lucky enough to live in the country where they can hear the stars at night. I get to hear a noisy clock. Crazy how loud that clock is. It's as loud as a clicker. I think I'm going to call it a night because it is 10:15. I've had my latkes and my applesauce, and here is the dash. Check engine. Interesting, huh? Normally it says glow plugs and water in fuel. Diesel dash. I guess if you got a diesel in California, you got a diesel light. If you got a gas one, you got a check engine light. Whew. Somebody detailed that to death. Sprayed a little bit too much cleaner on it. Well, that's it. Maybe my spring shims will arrive tomorrow. They were supposed to be here Wednesday. And what else are we waiting for on this truck? I got a fluid filament. I'm not going to do it until I've got everything repaired. And I've got to glue on that. I'm wearing my Christmas clothes. I've got to glue on this. Take off the Scotch tape. I think the two-sided tape failed. That's it. Just enjoying looking at all this junk in my shop. One day maybe we'll clean it up. I think we're doing some construction on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Now where's that off button? Right here somewhere. I can never
figure out. There it is.